Well, I mean, it's just yeah. I take that.
Oh, that's my mother. She's a native Oklahoman, but she's very happy.
Oh, it's okay.
Hey, Mark. Come on, yeah.
I've got my crew with me.
Okay, come on in.
Thank you.
Yep, come right on in. Come on,
This is
I'll
great.
sit here and sit. Come on in. Thank you, Dad. Yes. I got bad knees.
Will you relax?
Yeah.
My name is Julie. I'm
Nice
Jay's
to
wife.
meet
It's
you.
so nice
Good
to meet
you,
you.
Mother.
He's
Yeah,
told
I
me
know
so many
that
stories.
Hi,
little
my name is
fellow, huh?
my name is
This is Ben.
Ben.
He's our
Pleased to
son.
meet you. Yeah, looking
Looks
just
like
like
somebody.
your daddy. Sure, y'all come on in and
Come
sit
in.
down.
This is
Hi,
Lee.
you're welcome.
Lee's
Hello,
our
honey.
oldest daughter.
I'm Vivian Lee. It's nice
Vivian.
to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Give me
too.
hugs.
Oh,
It's
okay.
so nice to meet you. Thank you for having us.
Yeah, welcome.
You
Isn't it time finding
This
you?
is our son-in-law.
It's my husband.
That's your husband? Yeah.
I'm Paige.
This is our
My
baby girl.
This is the baby.
This is the
Just
baby.
as cute as you can be. Look like a little dog.
Oh.
Well, I know that when it was a little thing. His mother and father run a big grocery. Sit down. Y'all make yourself at home.
Thank you so much for having us.
Yeah, they run a big grocery store up in New Canaan. And she come over and asked me would I go and stay with him in the morning when she would leave. So I'd go every morning and keep him. And a lot of times when I come home, I'd have to bring him home with me.
That's true.
I'd bring him home with me and he'd come over here and stay with me.
He said this
And
was
she'd come by and pick him up.
He said this was his second home.
Right, he stayed here. I stayed with him every day, honey, except Saturday and Sunday.
Was he hard to get up?
No, he'd lay there and sleep, and I'd let him rest. You know, I wouldn't bother him. He
You
was
spoiled
rotten.
him.
Yeah, he was rotten. That's all
Rotten,
right. He
listen
was
to this.
rotten. Yeah, he was.
He still
But
is.
that was my boy. Yeah, sure did. I
Oh.
brought him with it. And when my two girls, what I had then, when we'd go out somewhere and his mother had to work in the store and thing, I'd take him with us.
Oh.
See? Yeah, sure did.
He's told us lots of stories about you, how
Yeah.
special you were to him.
Yeah, well, I've been with a bunch of them here. One while here in New Canaan, we all know, everybody knowed everybody.
Mm-hmm.
See, and I had kids back in Powell in my house all the time. I'd keep them when their parents wanted to go out or whatsoever. And I had two girls at home during the time, and they went to school. And I was still integrated and things. Well, we didn't have no problems. Like, 'cause see, practically everybody had been lived together
Yeah.
here in New Canaan. It was just a big home, you know. And we didn't have we went to our PTA meeting the night before the next day they was going to start school. And our superintendent asked us, did we want to come up to the school the next day when they integrated? We told him no. Because all our kids had been together all the time. And did none of us go up there to the school or nothing, and everything was just as smooth as cake. We didn't have 1 minute's trouble. None at all. Because practically all of them had stayed in my house, though, anyway, because they'd follow my girls, want to come home and spend the night, because I made light rolls and cinnamon rolls. I was the pastry cook at the high school.
Oh.
See.
My grandma cooked at our school.
Yeah, I
And
cooked
she could
at
make
the
those
high
good
school.
rolls.
I made cinnamon rolls and
This would be a fun
Cakes
place to be.
yeah, we always have got along. Now it's a lot of new people that moved in here, but I'm not out there nowhere or nothing. So if something go on, I don't know nothing about it.
I grew up in a little town called Porter, Oklahoma.
Mhm.
And it's that way. When I was a
Right.
kid, everybody knew everybody.
Right.
And now,
Right.
of course, we live in Tulsa now, but Stacy and Lee live out in the country by Porter.
Right.
I don't
Right.
know anybody down there anymore.
Well, we haven't had 1 minute's trouble. Now,
And they have
this
a train track that runs through it.
Yeah.
And my family had a little grocery store like his family did.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Sure did.
We
They
kinda
had
grew-
stuff. And she drove over one evening and asked me, because I was working packing around for everybody around in here wouldn't move me, the cases and the camels and and I'm trying to think the rest of mine goes so fast. But anyway, and I told her, yeah, I would try it for a while, you know. So I'd go every morning before she would leave.
That's what
But
he
the
said.
neatest thing when I first went over there and started working, see, 'cause they were new in here. Now, my oldest brother, Mr. Campbell, was over one part of Inky and Pelox, I think it was,
It's your grandpa she's talking about.
where he worked, you know, over at the big store.
Mhm.
And my oldest brother was driving a truck going from Houston to Galveston to live in. And he was telling Mr. Campbell that he had a sister lived out here and he came.
How
That's
neat.
how
That's
it
how
happened.
they.
I was
Yeah.
gonna ask you.
Yeah,
Just
I
wait
had
and find
an
out.
older brother that
That's
used
how
to
it
drive a truck. Well, he's
Small
dead
world.
though now. Yeah.
Tell me that wasn't it.
What stories can you tell my kids about their grandparents?
Beautiful.
They've never met anybody that knew their grandparents.
They were beautiful. I had practically all. I mean, some camels live right up over there on the other side. Over in the Pelox, camels and the Pelox all was mostly mixed up.
Now, I've got a question. You remember you head down toward the river,
Mhm.
right before Peach Creek,
Mm-hmm.
there was a gravel road
Mm-hmm. So that the
that
camels
was on
used
the
to
other
live
side that
in
went
there.
down. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
But
And,
I
I mean, it
think-
was an old
Yeah,
log house.
yeah.
I mean, it was old when I was
know
young.
it. I know it.
So
I
I'm
know.
figuring that
I
some
don't
of the
think
Pelots
none
and
of them-
Campbells
Right.
and some of the older family
Right.
had that for a while.
They had.
And Wilburn, Uncle Pete,
Uh-huh.
I called him,
Right.
was my grandfather's brother.
Right. Right.
And he had all that acreage behind us. In fact, my dad had bought 8 acres from him.
All of
That
that
we
up
had,
there on
we
the
had
end
8 acres
belonged to
over there at
them
one
up
point
there.
in time.
It did. All of that
Yeah.
on that end goes up to
Little
that road would
L-shaped
go back
pasture.
in there.
Yeah, it was
Where that
lovely.
road go back in here, going
Mhm.
down where the
Funny.
Girl Scout camp used to be back in there. You remember?
Yeah.
My
There-
oldest daughter worked at the Girl Scout camp, Dolores.
See. Was that,
Dolores.
now, was Dolores the
That
one
was
that
my
grew up
old-
around Sunny, right?
No, Audrey was the one.
Audrey,
from-
okay, yeah, Audrey.
uh-huh. But Dolores
Okay.
worked for Ace Hardware for years.
Yeah.
That's where she worked. They had 2 girls and a boy, and when they'd have to go off on business trips,
Mhm.
Dolores stayed with their family, you know, and kept them like that. So she worked for them up until she passed a year now, about 2 or 3 years ago. She had a heart attack. Her son was in Abilene, which he got a home up there. She didn't have a 1 boy and 2 girls. And she was up there keeping her grandkids. And she called me that night. We talked about twice. No, I think the 3rd time. When she called me the 2nd time, she said, Mama, I ain't gonna bother you anymore tonight. I'm gonna let you go to sleep. I said, oh, it don't make no difference. She could feel something was happening, I imagine, but she didn't know what it was, you know. So she called back the 3rd time. And me and her talked a while and she got off the phone. And the next morning, the first thing after I got up, somebody was at my back door. And she was dead. Yeah, she was dead. Yeah, she died up there in Abilene.
So how many kids do you have?
I had 4. I had 2 girls and 2 boys. But I tell you what, my 2 oldest kids were coming out of school just about. I waited just that long. Dr. Carroll in Conroe was my doctor, family doctor. And I went to him and he said, Selena, don't fall out. He said, but you fixing to start another family.
That's what his
Oh,
mama
Lord.
did.
Yeah, I know it.
Well, now,
I
see,
know it.
there's 8 years difference in these 2, and then there's 10 years difference in the 2 girls.
Right.
We did the same thing.
Right.
We said we wasn't going to.
Sure, but that's how I did too, because I never did anything, you know, to not to have kids. And that's
Mhm.
what happened. I
figured they
had
were
2
gift from
more.
God.
That's what I said too. And everybody would say, you're not worried about it. I said, oh, I'm not worried about it. And raised them up and they grown. And one of my daughters lived down just about maybe 2 or 3 miles from me on this side over here.
Oh, how nice.
And my son and his wife, they live here with me.
That's great.
That's
Yeah,
how
this
I
is
knew.
added on
Yeah.
over here. They live here with me.
That's great.
Mhm.
In 7,
Yeah.
It's always good to have family close.
Yeah, it is. But this is my brother. That's one of my brother's daughters live next door. And then that's one of his grandsons live right over here. And then on the other side, that's my brother and his family.
That's good
And
that you got people.
then his baby girl live right in the yard with him. She's a policeman in Houston. His baby girl. Sure is. I ain't saying it because it's my family, but we raised a family that has been peaceful, quiet. We haven't had no kind of problems, nothing, no kind
That's
of.
something to be proud of in
That's
today's
right.
world.
That's a blessing right
It
there.
sure
We don't
is.
have that.
Never had no problem.
And it doesn't matter how good you raise people. There's no kids. There's no guarantees anymore.
Right,
The way the world is.
right.
Ours have been awful good. They've been blessings, thank goodness.
That's what I said about mine. We didn't have no whole lot, but what we had, it was clean. And I take my time and fixed it for him.
I want to tell you what you taught him well. He changed more diapers than I did with this one.
Oh, he did?
He was with me
That's
every
true.
time I had a baby. He was right there beside me the whole
But he
time.
had a beautiful family.
He
still
was.
got a
He's
beautiful,
been a wonderful
yeah.
husband.
His mother and father, all of them was beautiful.
Well, see, this one's named after Vivian. Her name's
She
Vivian.
did.
Yeah.
Well, I'll say she was precious, honey.
Do you think they look like him at all?
Yeah, they sure do. Yeah, she was precious.
She's born on Vivian's birthday.
Oh, no.
Mhm.
Well, I'll say
The
that.
special one.
Yeah.
Then we
Yeah,
had-
when she smiled, now she sure do look like her.
I think
Really
she. I
do.
really think she does.
Yeah.
Favors her more
Yes.
than I do.
Yeah.
I favor my mom's mom more.
Yeah, she does. She looks like my mama.
Yeah.
Yeah, but she
Well,
looks
she
like
was
his mom.
sweet, honey.
I don't know,
Them, all of them.
there's some Campbell in this.
Oh, I mean, I
Yeah, you
of
get
course,
those
of
eyes.
course.
But she
Yeah.
does look a lot like your grandma Campbell.
Yeah. Well, they was all precious. We all, how much, just like I told you at first, here in New Canaan, we never had a problem.
Oh, of course.
We've never had problems. Now, some of the new people maybe would come in here, they may have some problems.
left in my
But everybody here knowed everybody else. It was just like long time ago when we kill a hog or something like that. Everybody would get a mess of it, you know. And we would do the same way with
That's the way I was brought up. I was brought up in the country.
Right. And we all knew
We get out and
everybody.
pick up wild onions and we picked up pecans through the years.
Right.
He loves the outdoors. We've got a farm
Oh,
that my
that's
grandma
good.
gave us,
That's
and we can't
good.
wait to move out there. Now, this one's out of high school.
Right.
She graduated this spring from high school, so
Good,
she's going on to
good.
college.
Mm.
Lee's a nurse, our oldest one.
Good.
She's a nurse.
Good. Wonderful.
And he's in college, so we've got
done
him great.
well.
We're,
Yeah.
so far, so good.
That's good, but don't give up. I'll come long enough.
No.
No more.
We
huh?
took care of that with him.
Well, that's good. Well, they had to stop me because Dr. Carol told me I was just getting ready to start having kids.
I'm gonna
And
be
I'd have
50
been
this year.
having long with my kids, with my daughters.
I was 20 when we had her and 30 when we had her, so I figured that was probably good enough.
Right. That's good. Did you sitting up here taking pictures?
Mm-hmm.
He's recording. Yeah.
Oh.
I had to be very, very honest. I'm doing a segment. I'm doing it in segments for my YouTube channel. I'm documenting my father's.
Right.
Okay, they're not
Just trying to help.
Right.
He didn't recognize his own
He didn't
house.
recognize his
No,
house.
but he knew his.
Yeah, I would get over there every morning just a little bit before his mother would go to the store and be there with him. And when I'd get through cleaning and fixing, I'd bring him on back to the house with me. And I had my two older girls was at home, and they would have a time.
Oh, I bet you were spoiled.
Yeah, he was. And sure, he couldn't help but be spoiled.
Well, he turned out good in 5
And he
minutes,
would
spoiled.
tell me what he'd want to eat in the mornings, and I'd fix what he wanted to eat for breakfast and thing in the
I don't
morning.
remember any major problems
No,
over
no
here.
problem.
Me not wanting to get up and go
That's
to
what
school,
I
but
just
you were,
told them. We haven't
were-
had no problems here in New
she was
Canaan.
always good.
And all the kids that I would be with, that I work for, they all see me now. Some of them come in the store, like if I'm in the store grocery shopping. Some of them will come up behind me and put their hand over mine and be back there saying, I bet you don't know who this is. That's it. I said, you better get your hand out from over my eyes. I don't know who it be, you know. But they know me, you know. Yeah. And one of the Wallace, Gary Wallace, you know, his father and mother is dead.
No, I didn't know, but
Yeah,
I remember
we
Gary
were-
Wallace.
yeah.
What's he up to?
He hauls dirt and gravel and stuff and things like that. He got a dump truck. And he had just brought a load of stuff over to my brother's here the other week, and I was sitting on the porch. And I seen
Oh,
somebody coming across. And he said, Little Lynn, I couldn't come this close and not come say something to you.
Oh.
So he come sit down there in the chair on the other side of me and stayed with me a good while. Sure did.
Yeah, he was a character when
Yes,
I was
indeed.
going to school. He
His
was a
daddy
character.
used to be a character.
His mama.
He was,
Oh yeah, and I didn't know that much about him. You can just
Right.
tell by being around him.
Yeah, see,
But
him
his
and-
mama was such a sweet.
She was just a sweet wee wee. That's what we all called her. And the other one was named Doris. And Doris moved to Kingwood. And I
Okay.
worked for her for the longest, but she finally just had a major heart attack or
Yes.
something. And she fell dead. Yeah, sure did. I was working for her during the time. After she had a beautiful home down there in Kingwood. But I mostly worked for the whole family, Miss Barnett and all of them.
Well, I'm
I
hearing a
worked
lot
for
about
them.
Kingwood now, especially from people around here.
Right, right.
Is it, it's just this side of Humboldt? Is it this side
Yeah,
of the river?
this side it's on
Okay.
this side of the river.
Okay.
Sure is.
Okay, I have an idea where it is.
Yeah, I went
It was a
down.
new little town to me.
Right.
It wasn't around when I was
It's
a
done
kid.
really grow. This have really
Yeah,
grown.
that's what I
It
understand.
sure have a lot of new people, a lot of our older ones that died out, but the kids coming on, you know.
I'm glad
They'll
that
come
some
on.
of the kids are still around.
Right, they still here. And I'm
Yeah.
glad Gary and them is still down there, you know. Yeah.
Yeah.
He was just living on the other side of his daddy.
Did he end up living across the road? or
No,
beside
right
it?
down on the far end.
Oh, okay.
Luther Sullivan used to live down there, but they bought
You know, that name
Sullivan's
rings a bell.
place
Yeah.
when Luther left. Well, Gary bought all that back down in there. So he was living just on the other side.
So
of
he
his
has a
father.
gravel business, huh?
Right,
Well,
right.
good for him.
Yeah, he has a gravel business. Sure do. Yeah, one while new people out here now, but the Cases and Grovers and Presswoods, and we all know that one
Yeah.
another, you know.
Mhm.
A lot of them were
Yeah.
dressed hogs and cows and
Presswoods bought the
stuff.
store after Mama sold.
Right,
They sure
right,
did, that's fine.
right.
See,
Yeah.
my son-in-law Stacy, his mom taught school with my mama.
Oh,
And I
he
loved
did.
his mother when I was young. I
Yeah.
still do. I love Hilda. Hilda's good people.
Right.
And so his daddy ran for sheriff, and I helped out with the campaign. And these two met when they were 14 years old.
Well, I
13,
say-
excuse me, 13.
13.
And how long have you
Get
been
right,
married
how many
now?
months?
5 years this November.
They're both 30 years old now. They've been married for 5 years.
Well, I'm not 30 till October.
Well, you're pushing it.
Technically.
Yeah, that's sweet.
Stacy already turned
That's
30 in
so
March.
sweet. That's sweet.
Thank
You
you.
know what counts? The family to get along. That's a blessing. And that's the way it have been here in New Canaan. The ones would have been here in New Canaan.
Mhm.
We all still gets along. We old but we get along. Our kids raised up together and thing, and they gets along.
Makes a big difference.
That's right. That's right. It really do. New Canaan was a beautiful place to live in. Beautiful place. Because everybody practically knowed everybody. See, I worked for Miss Campbell, the Gills. We was talking about Doris and all them. I worked for all of them. My oldest sister too. She raised my home's in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. But my mother and father both had passed. And my father, before he passed, he sent for my oldest sister. And he gave me and my brother, his daughter lived next to me, but my brother lived in the next house. He gave us to my oldest sister. And she brought us out here to Texas. And this way she raised us here in New Canaan. And she was working mostly around for everybody.
Mhm.
And I growed up helping her work and thing. I'd get out of school, I'd work washing, ironing, cooking,
You have been
cleaning.
here
We did all
most of your life.
right here in New Canaan. And I raised all of my children right here. Beautiful, and it does me good to have cold chills.
Oh, I
To
bet.
say we never had no problems.
See, not,
And a lot of people can't say
So
that.
that's
Yeah.
not real common.
But it's wonderful. It's
Yeah.
wonderful, you know. And some of the kids will come up behind me and blindfold me, and I don't know who it is behind me, you know. But it's a wonderful life that you can live in a place and raise all your children
It is.
and don't have no problems. Really good.
It's a rare thing in today's
Yeah,
world.
and my kids would be out in the yard and all the kids playing. I said, call some of them. I say, your mother calling for y'all. Tell them to go. We ain't ready to go home. We don't want to go home. They wouldn't want to go home. They love being over
right.
here.
Well, Jay, we want to get a picture of you and Lena together.
Is that
Lido's.
okay with you?
That's fine with me. I wish y'all stayed right over there, all of you.
Bless your heart.
So you could come across the street and eat
Yeah.
light rolls,
Oh, sorry.
James
Yeah.
and rice.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Or come down and.
Here, you want me to move so you sit over here, or would you
Yeah.
get ready?
I got some bad knees, y'all.
Oh, you're fine. All right. 1, 2, 3.
Bless your heart.
We'll take one more just so we get a good one. Let's take one more, Daddy. Dad,
Yeah, she wants to get
one more.
You know your
Okay.
girls, they gotta take 2
Yeah,
or
we're
3.
popular.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
Mhm. Sweet, sweet, sweet.
Awesome.
If they'd have told me I'd have seen you again, Lord, I'd have
Me too. Right.
I'm so glad to see you. Oh, I'm glad to see you. I wouldn't take nothing for it, honey. God bless your heart. I'm so glad you made a beautiful young man and your family. Your mother wouldn't take nothing for this. She would be so happy because she loves her 2 boys. Yes, she loved them. And they were precious.
Oh, we have our moments and you know it.
Yeah, when I think
They
sometimes
weren't
they
too
wouldn't
cool.
want to go to the store because she was running the biggest store was here.